Okay, good day, people. Hope everyone is well. I'm going to see if I can, over the next couple of days, maybe week or so, try to follow up this discussion that Lance Strait and I had initiated maybe about 2 weeks ago on information. And we were responding to a video that was produced by Veritasium, and there's another one that was done by Vsauce. And I've looked at some of their other videos now, and I've subscribed to both of these guys' channels for a long time, and I think, they're doing really great stuff. But on this question of information, from my perspective, a lot more discussion would have to go on, and more engagement with the full range of what people actually mean by information, or use a different word, because it seems a little bit like there's a bait and switch going on. Like at first, we're promised everything, and then we have to live in the shed out back. There's this sort of three-card Monte where they start as if they're talking about information in the everyday sense that includes all the range of ambiguities and what people mean by it and all the different contexts. But then it's this end of the video, isn't all said and done. It's this very specific, very narrow definition of information that really doesn't resemble at all what people mean by information when they use the term. And so then you wonder what the motives are for that. Now, in some way, it's the practice of science. I don't think there's anything malicious in what these guys are doing, but I do think that more discussion, more open debate. I don't think, and again, I'm not interested in a debate or anything controversial. I'm interested in people laying out as many cases and as many illustrations and exemplars as they can to try to show what people mean by information. And a lot of it has to do with, part of the problem was that people equated matter and energy, and then from there thought they could just equate information with that. And information is never outside of energy matter. It's not as if there's some realm by which information exists that isn't part and parcel of the material world, but it's not as if all the material world just occurs at one level. I mean, there are abstractions, there are, what's sometimes called the eidetic realm, there are realms of possibilities, even if they're only imagined. Well, those imaginations occur in real space and time in these living organisms who are able to do that. So rather than go into all the litany of examples that I'm going to try to bring to bear in the upcoming videos, and I would hope that people, please, if you happen to know either Derek or Michael, feel free to send this to them. I don't think they're going to respond. That would be fine. But if other people, if you want to get involved in this, try to think of all the examples that you'd want to bring to bear on helping people understand what we mean by information. I'm going to give just one example here, and I've mentioned it a little bit before, but I want to clarify it even further, and then there'll be more videos coming. But here's the very simple example. If I say this statement is in English, right? That's a true statement. If I say this statement is in French, that's false. And in order to have a recognition of it being true or false, you need to recognize the two levels of the message itself. And that is, the message itself is comprised of two levels. There's the code, and there's the proposition conveyed by the code. And what you do is you hear the proposition, and then you look to the code, and you're seeing if there's a discrepancy or if they're in congruence. And to that extent, you don't want to equate the information simply with the code. If the information were nothing other than the code, you wouldn't be able to have that split between the proposition and the code used to state the proposition. A different way to say it is the false statement, right? Where is the theory within the definition of information that Vsauce and Veritasium are offering? I guess Veritasium in particular. Where is room for error, for misinformation? That is, for example, if in their videos they're misinforming people, what would need to be a theory of information in order to account for misinformation? Because the code can't be false. The code just is what it is. It's only the proposition stated that can be true or false. Even though we need the code in order to assess whether it's true or false. But the code just is what it is. Okay, more coming. Thanks.